Trucker John Billy, what's going on? Can you guys hear me? Split Shot Baits, what's up, Chad? How you doing, buddy? Sid Lewis, long time. Sorry I haven't been live, guys. We're gonna change that. Randall, how you doing, bud? Awesome. I'm glad because at one point I had issues with my microphone, but not tonight. That's good. Just figured I'd come on and do a little jig tying and do a little catch up with y'all. Talk about yesterday out on Lake Conroe. So just a little bit. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? Getting all ready for this tournament coming up here in a couple weeks. So I got these small, I guess you're gonna say these are 16th ounce. These are from Leslie from Little Miss Bacon Bakes. She gave me a bunch of them. I colored them up. I just powder coated them the night before the live. And they got bait keepers on them, so I don't know how this tying on them is going to work, but we're going to try it. I have others without the bait keepers, but most of my other jig heads are minnow heads, which work, pretty awesome. Yesterday, I used some Split Shot Baits. Chad Butler, he's on here. I used some of his ties that he makes. And I'll show you the colors. If y'all didn't go on Facebook and see my post, I'll show you the colors that I used yesterday that worked phenomenal out on Conroe. And I hadn't fished Conroe in quite some time. Been traveling all over tournaments and all that. This right here is a killer out there yesterday. This is Chad's. Y'all can message Chad. He's on here right now if y'all want some of these. I'm sure he can make them up for you. So that one worked really, really good. And here was another one that worked really, really good. Very nice hand ties. And I put an order in. I'm going to get some from Chad just because, I've been tying mine for years, but it's always good to have plenty of options. So I'm going to do a chartreuse head, chartreuse tail with a little bit of shine. And this here is a synthetic tail. I do have bucktail, but I want to use some of the synthetic tail here. And I'm going to do a black body, black chartreuse. Always been good color pretty much anywhere you go. I haven't done a lot of tying in a while, but he's going to tonight. You see, I got a tub here. I take these with me when I go to these tournaments, kind of like a travel care package, if you want to call it, in case I want to tie up some jigs while I'm out and about. With these tournaments in the motel room and whatnot. This is all my shine, flash blue and all that. I got lots of them in there. I'm gonna do a little green shine in there. Do this jig up and then I'll get to some of the comments, guys. Appreciate y'all coming and stopping by. I'm gonna try my hardest this week to get a video out for you. Still having problems with the computer, but pretty much kind of got to start from scratch. And I videoed all of yesterday out on the water, so it'll be pretty good. I caught about 40. I'd estimate I caught about 40 of them in a few hours. They're biting them good. Best bite I've seen on Conroe in quite a while. But you had to know where to look for them. They're doing a little transition out there. They're getting ready to do their thing. Pretty soon they'll all be moving around. This time of year is an awesome time of year to use hand ties. Summertime, minnows work really good. But man, winter months, cooler water and all that, you can't beat hair ties. That's all I took out with me yesterday was just my box of hair ties. These ones that Leslie gave me from Chad. My 12-foot Pro SE Outlaw. And my 6'8" Outlaw. Just those two rods and hand ties, that's it. And man, I smoked them. Nose is running a little bit. I think that'll work. Good focus for a while. I know it will. How are you clear, Lauren? How are you doing? Cutting feathers tonight. Nice. John, you do some tying too? Hey Mike, how you doing, buddy? Get them trolling motor parts in yet? 922 Crappie Barbecue. How you doing, bud? It's been a while. What up, Lamar? getting ready for this tournament coming up soon. I think I'm gonna try and get up there, do a little pre-fishing this coming weekend. It's a long weekend. Go up there and check out the water. See if I can find some big ones, and hopefully they'll stick around. Yeah, you know that's right. I am. My partner's going to Port O'Connor, so it's going to be either me solo or me taking my little man up there. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Nothing fancy, but it'll catch. If I do a few more like that, I might even do a couple with purple bodies. Chartreuse purple bodies was really good here as well. Nice, John. Yeah, I've been tying for a few years as well. Tested out a lot of different colors. Got so many doggone bucktails, feathers, Chanel. Used to tie an awful lot. Not so much anymore. So what's the crappie fishing like where y'all are at? Is it tough? Is it getting better? Is it picking up? You having a hard time finding them? Moving on you? I hadn't been out on Conroe in, probably a couple months, to be honest with you. The bite's been horrible out there, so even when I guided, I didn't take my clients out there. I didn't want them to, I wanted them to have a good time and catch a lot of fish. I didn't want to go out there and struggle and bring home just a few. Nothing more frustrating than sitting over top of hundreds and hundreds of fish and throw everything at them with the kitchen sink. Sometimes that as well, and they won't hit. So I've gone to other lakes, and my clients have been extremely happy. Of course, I've been traveling a lot too. Dale Hollow, that was a long drive up to that tournament. And we, that clear water, clear deep water is a little tough. I'll tell you that, just to keep the fish alive. We didn't have a problem catching them. We never really did get on any big ones. First day of pre-fishing, we had a good sack, but they disappeared on me. And then I put over 250 miles on my boat trying to find them, and just never did. I think we ended up in 60 something out of 150 boats. Maybe it was 70 something. Didn't matter, only top 25 or only for cash. So. But it was beautiful up there. Absolutely beautiful. I could take my 12-foot Pro SE, stick it all the way down in the water, as far as I could reach. And you could still see the tip of it. That's how clear that lake was. It's crazy. I mean, I come from clear waters, but nothing that clear. Few of y'all have actually had the opportunity to use some of my hand ties. I always get good feedback. I won't sell them anymore, but occasionally I'll give them away. synthetic hair is definitely going to move around quite a bit in the water with not much movement. Like floats. I caught a lot of fish on it. But let me show off some of the Chad's hair ties. Get some of these comments. Let's see, John, for a couple of years now, Mike, doing well. Think it's ready to go. Awesome, Mike. That's good to hear, man. Like I said on the messenger, anytime you need a hand, let me know. We're not that far apart. I'm always willing to help somebody out. This Mr. Crosby Grandpa, how's it going? Split shot bait, simple catches. The bite is decent right now here. Chad, where are you at? Are you in Florida? I'm gonna take some of your hair ties out here and show everybody. Some really nice ones. And I'm gonna put them in one of my boxes. Alright, so there's one of Chad's right there. Hold it where it'll focus well. The wedge head. Gold. Pretty nice. I never even tried that, never had to. There's the color. I showed you already. That one was a killer out there. And he's got this one here, which I'm sure all these are killing. Like a little bumblebee looking deal. Orange. I like the heads themselves are like marbled. And obviously that one there. Chad, are these normal ones that you keep in stock, or are these just kind of special ones you made up? And you got a all gray one. I've tied a lot of those. I probably have one of them in my box here that I tied. They work really well. Let's see what I got. These are all my hand ties in here. So just catching them on that one right there this weekend. That's one I tie up. Got a few of them. Orange and chartreuse, orange and yellow. And I don't have any silvers, they're all gone, but just some of the colors that I had that I used worked well. Lamar says he's been catching at Lake Houston in the mud up in the bayou. Right on. Brings back to yesterday. I was out. Like I said, I hadn't been on Conroe in probably a couple months. And I went and checked some timber where I like to fish. Usually holds a lot of nice fish. And they weren't there. Of course, the lake level is down about 3 foot. Don't ask San Jacinto about that because they'll tell you it's not, but it is. So, spent about, 20 minutes in this timber. They weren't there. I realized that it's 16 foot of water normally. Well, 15 foot. Normally it's about 18 foot. And there was just trash fish. So, water temp started out, it was 50, a little over 50. So, well, I better go check some deeper water. So, I went and checked some deeper water with some stick ups and a couple lay downs. And that's where I found them. They're laying right on the bottom, and anywhere from I want to say 16 foot in the mud to 25 foot down. So if you're fishing on Conroe, maybe even these other lakes, you're having a hard time, maybe they moved off of some spots that you normally go to, don't be afraid to look, drop it down and work that mud down there by that structure, because they're just loaded up in the mud underneath a couple of small stick ups. And they're hungry. I mean, the jig, you drop your jig down, you get it near the bottom, you give it a little pop, stop it before it hits the bottom, and they just shoot up and slam it. I had a couple of them about pull that 6'8" outlaw right out of my hands. They hit so hard. But I also did find them in 25 foot of water, suspended about 16 to 20 foot as well. So anybody that just because you can't see them on live scope, a lot of times, you know, I'll tell people all the time, you see them stick ups, even if you can't see them, I mean, you're there, you're already looking at it with your live scope or whatever, drop down on it, run that jig, you know, right over it. A lot of times them big fish will be sitting down there, you don't even see them, they'll come up and hit that jig. And works for me. Tool Man Tony, what's up? How you doing, bud? Randall, Granger has been tough. Buchanan has been good. Hard to get a boat launched anywhere else. And I know that a lot of these lakes are really low. I mean, Dale Hollow, they were letting water out of that when we were there. It was 13 foot low. And mind you, we were catching fish in 50 foot of water suspended. And when you pulled them up, you had to bring them up so slow. And even then, it was bad. I mean, we had a couple of them, their eyeballs popped right out of their heads. The pressure and all that was too much. We lost quite a few fish before we could weigh them in, which would have helped us out plenty. And I know everybody that fished it had that same problem. But just tough time of year. They probably shouldn't have had that tournament. I believe that time of year there. Just that deep, clear water. Live and learn. And I mean, some people didn't even finish fishing it because they couldn't keep fish alive. I get it. Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, I thought you was in Florida, Chad. Nice. Glad I bought some before you went out of business. Ah, Tony, that's funny. Brother, you know I got some for you whenever you need some. But they do catch catfish, but I wouldn't use them to target catfish. And you know that you love catfishing. Oh, let's see. Trucker John Billy, what is up, man? Commented before 6, but just getting on your live, buddy. Well, I'm glad you're here. It's been a while. I hadn't been live in a long time. I appreciate you guys showing up. I got some good footage. I'm going to try and get video out this week. I have really good footage. I have like footage from, I got a lot of footage. I just haven't been able to get it edited. My computer's being goofy, so I'm just kind of going to start over with like yesterday. I mean, I have One Man Limit Part 1 out on the channel. I have some really good footage to make Part 2, but I'm having computer problems with that clips. Even Lake Houston, Houston County Lake, the crappie record that I caught, that one, I put a preview of it on there, but it's still stuck in that same issue where I'm having a hard time editing it. So I rebooted everything on my computer, and hopefully I'm going to start fresh tomorrow. I'm going to start editing with the footage from yesterday, and it'll be pretty good footage. I caught plenty of fish, and Who on here has a 6.8 Outlaw? That's what I want to know. That rod is so much fun to fish with. It's one of the newest ones that JR came out with. I mean, I love my 12 footer. I'm not going to go anywhere without that. But even on Lake Grenada Lake for Crappie Masters National Championship, I was using that 6.8. That water was, I think, 7 foot low. They were letting it out of there as well, and we were fishing 3 to 7 foot of water, catching 2.5 pound crappie, roaming crappie, but you couldn't get within 30 feet of them, so you had to cast to them. And slightest bump on the boat, anything, I was hooting and hollering at James an awful lot because he was noisy, and those fish would just, they'd be gone. So, but it was a lot of fun, and I caught some really big crappie up there with that 6.8. That's a lot of fun to fish with that pole, and you'll see on the video I'm gonna put out. I really enjoy it. It's fun catching them big old slabs on it. That's one of the T24 carbon rods. It's a one-piece 6.8, good dock shooter, and I was just vertical jigging with it. They're being so deep, you can be right over top of them. You ain't scaring them. Depends on availability of material, but the hot pinks, chartreuse, lime truce, and blaze orange are my normals, but I can do a lot of colors and combos. Nice. Very nice, kid. Fishing is good up here around me, coming out 2 to 3 foot to eat a jig. Now that's what I'm talking about. And that's kind of how it was yesterday on Conroe. There was a few of them I had to stick it right on their nose, but most of them come up out of the mud and just smashed it. 2 to 3 foot as well. Yeah, I know, Randall. I'm working on it. These big tournaments that I've been going to, Crappie Masters National Championship on Grenada, Dale Hollow, those were the big ones that they're done with now. So now I'm focusing entirely on Crappie Masters East Texas Trail, our trail that we got going on. We had a pretty good turnout on Palestine. I think we had 28 boats. So, and it was a good turnout. And I'm hoping to see some of y'all out there at the trails. I know I talked to a few of you, and you will be there. John, I know that was your first go of it. You guys did great. And anyways, John has Fat Guys Fishing on YouTube. He has a lot of videos out there as well. Go check his video out, his channel out. Give him a few likes, and he has some pretty good stuff. And they sat there and talked about the tournament, which was really cool. I watched that video, John, and I really enjoyed that. Fat Boy Fishing, that's right. Crappie Tamer, how are you? Randall, I want a 14 Outlaw now to fish these willows on Buchanan and standing timber on Grangers. Well, you can probably get one. JR, the owner of Outlaw Crappie Poles, Amos, will be at Toledo Bend tournament next couple weeks. So I know they'll have a boatload of rods with them, I'm sure of it. They always do. I'm gonna get back to doing a little tying, but yeah, the bite is really good yesterday. I was really impressed. Normally I have to hunt really hard for them and work really hard to get them to bite, but the temperature change and everything's got them hungry, and their bellies are getting fat. I mean, they're fattening up pretty good. Let's see here. Those I'm sure you've all. Oh, you guys think I got a problem? I cleaned out my boat. Those are all plastics and all that. And I got actually about 4 miles an hour faster yesterday by myself and got rid of all them plastics out of the boat. There's some pretty chunky fish they were eating yesterday. Let's see, poor Chad's hair ties. And their bellies are getting pretty fat. Pretty fish. And there's just choking them hair ties. I'm sure y'all probably seen most of these on Facebook. And you can see I ain't hiding where I was fishing. I don't usually fish those pylons, but there was a bunch of fish on it. I had to check it. It's deeper water. I knew it was deeper water. So 1090, it wasn't the 1097 bridge, but I bet you the 1097 bridge and around the creek channels in that deeper water is probably loaded right up with crappie right now, and they're probably hungry. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, buddy? I bet you did, John. We gained about 3 to 5 miles an hour, and we took all the bass gear out of the boat. Yeah, ain't no lie. Tony. Tony asked if I thought there was any up north yet. I imagine there probably is. Getting to them probably be pretty tough with the lake being as low. That's some fun fishing up there. That's kind of why this tournament on Conroe was set in February, because there's a lot of options for people to go out there and catch some big ones. But hopefully we'll get some rain and they'll stop lowering this doggone lake. And because that's some fun fishing up there. When it's windy like crazy, you can get out of the wind, you can still go catch a bunch of fish. And I believe there's some up there right now. I hadn't been up there since springtime, but it'd be fun to go up and try it. Just the problem is, you know as well as I do, you're probably not going to launch a boat way up in the stubble field because the water's so low. That ramp's low anyway as it is. And getting up through the stumps, that's probably not going to happen right now because the water's so low. You might be able to do it by taking your time going up through the main creek channel that does run up through there. And it may be worth it. But if you're in a kayak, I'm sure you can go out there and probably catch them. But I'm looking forward to this Toledo Bend. Last year I didn't do so well. I caught a lot of fish. We had some die on us. That's when we were having issues with the live well, keeping the water cool. We don't have that problem no more, and it's been good. But I might do a little blue in this one. Green flash. That'll do something different. But I got some ideas of where I want to check out. I've been Google Earthing it and looking at my navionics like I always do before tournaments, kind of break the lake down at home before I get to them. And hopefully there'll be some big ones there. This one's a little different. Little different. There's back. I'm gonna do this one silver. That's the greatest thing about tying. You can change your mind and what you want to do anytime you're doing it. So there's some more here. Got lots of silver, y'all. Yeah, Lamar, if you're still on here, I'm really tempted to go down to Lake Houston. Seems how it's the toughest lake there is to fish in Texas, from what I hear. I know it's false, but I want to go down there and put a whooping on some of these slabs. I enjoy fishing Houston. Bites usually really good down there. Depends on who you ask. Like I've said before, yeah, this is a rotary vise, but I don't do it like that. Could if I save some material, if I did. I can tell you those little bait savers that are on there ain't affecting it one bit for dying. That's pretty awesome. Something different. Get some of these long strings off there like so. That ought to get their attention. You like that. I'm gonna tie a couple more like that. Sid Lewis, JJ, are you going to be at Grenada for the March tournament? Sid, I'm not sure if I'm going to go. James and I have talked about it. I'd really like to go because that's when you're going to catch them 3-pounders. I mean, we caught plenty of really nice fish while we were there. It was just the wrong time of year. I mean, all in all, I believe Lamar Bunning had the big fish, and I think there's only one of them caught. It was over 3 pounds. So. But yeah, I'm not sure on that one, Sid. I'd love to go, but I've taken so much time off. I got to get stuff caught up and before I go on them big long ventures again. I probably will go fish the one on Fork. When this trail stops on Fork, just to fish it. I hadn't fished Fork in a while, and I know it's loaded with some really nice fish as well. Randall, after the bend, we will have to get together and do some fishing. Sure, I'm down. too many information on where you get your tying supplies. Man, I've got them from people. I've ordered mine from Fish USA. It's out of Pennsylvania. I've gotten a bunch of bucktail from them. Typically, I'll look on Facebook, somebody will be getting rid of stuff, or I'll know somebody that, you know, a lot of this came from my buddy Bob, who passed away, and his wife gave me all of it. He bought tons and tons and tons of stuff to do it. And so I'm putting it to use. The rotary is catch-22. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's nice, but I like pulling it nice and tight, and I just do it by hand. That's how I've always done it. I mean, this vise, it's to run Zeddy. Traveler T 2002R. I mean, I got this on, I mean, it came with all the paperwork, but I got this on Facebook Marketplace. They were having, somebody was cleaning out a garage or a shed and had a bunch of supplies, and I mean, it's still got all the original warranty stuff. It's even got a price list from Rossetti. This one right here, this model right here, 2000. What is this? T 2002. So this is $130 price, and I paid $30 for it. A bunch of tools. So if you look, you get, there's deals out there. When they come up, you just got to jump on them. That's what I do typically. Yeah, I like that color combo too. That's what I think. I'm gonna make a few more of those. Got that little chartreuse tail, and then you got a lot of that blue shine on there. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Beast Outdoors, how you doing, buddy? Been a while. I know I ain't come live or done a video in a long time, but I swear it's gonna change. I promise y'all. Y'all want to do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps the channel out. And right now, my channel needs all the help it get because I just haven't put any stuff out there. But, yeah, I'm gonna tie a couple more like that. I like that one. I'm very glad to be back to Texas where the water is muddy. Tennessee water is too clear for me. And not to mention the big whites here are fun to catch. I mean, there's big black crappie in that lake, and we caught some white crappie. We went as far, not as far, but really close to as far as you can go up the Obey River system that runs through that lake. We found a bunch of white crappie, but they're 13, 14, 15 inches long, but they didn't weigh a pound. It's crazy. When I say I put 250 miles on my boat, I sure did. I'll tell you what happened too. I thought we were done the second day. You know, we didn't have a great weight first day. We knew we had to find bigger fish. But the second day, we were headed out, and it was nasty. It was raining. It rained all day. It was cold, and while I'm flying, we had a little bit of a break, and once we left the launch, I'm flying. You know, that boat will do. You know, I say flying, but it'll do 38, 40 mile an hour now with that 90 horse on it. And all of a sudden I'm wide open going up across there. It's going nice and smooth. All of a sudden it just revs up like crazy, and it just, poof, it kind of turned to the right, and it just wasn't going anywhere. I'm like, oh no, man, we just spun a prop. So I'm like, well, we're done. There's our tournament. I said I had another prop sitting in my truck, but we were already a long ways from the truck. So I lift the motor up. I start to go again, and it starts taking off, starting to plane off, and then it just over revs. I mean, yep, man, we spun that prop with the hub, So I lift the motor all the way up just to look at it, see if we hit something. And probably about 18, 20-inch log comes floating out and rolling off. Somehow I hit that log just right. It got wedged up in there. And I thought we were done and over with, but once that log rolled up out of there, we were good to go. Crazy. First time I've ever had that happen. So yeah, I thought we was done. And we actually only weighed 6 fish in. We had some die, but the second day we found a better pattern, and the 6 fish weighed more than our 7 the first day. So, but still was nowhere near enough to get into the money or anything. Chalk it up to experience, and we learn something every time we go out there. I can tell you right now, I've come a long ways compared to where I started fishing all these tournaments. It's not hard to go out there and get on crappie and catch them, but you got to be consistent, and you gotta practice discipline. That's for sure. You ain't dropping on every single fish you see out there anymore. You're just finding the big ones. So we find ourselves, when we first started, we wanted to get them 7 fish. So we'd, get on a tree that had a bunch of them or whatever, but that ain't what you look for. And the roaming fish, that is some serious fun right there. And I'm getting a lot better at catching them, especially even with it on the pole. A lot of people don't like it on the pole, the transducer, the live scope, but I think, to be honest with you, I think it's an advantage having it on the pole for the way I use it. I can scan a lot more ground a lot quicker than these guys that have it on the trolling motor. Now, when it goes to chasing them, it's a little more difficult, but still doable. I've got a lot of them that I've chased. Anybody got any questions? Just putting a little glue on the threads there. I put some on the body as well most of the time before I wrap the chenille around it. I find that it does help hold everything nice and tight. These jigs will not come apart. And I had just powder coated these tonight before the live. Another one. You can get fancy when you do all this stuff too, but I think fancy catches people's eyes more than it does crappie eyes. Sometimes it does. I think it makes a difference. But sometimes I swear you can put a bear hook down in front of them and they'll eat it. Renzetti, East Outdoors. What's up, JJ? Hope is well your way. It is, Beast. It really is. It's cooler weather. Fish are biting. Just got to dress for it. That's all. Been a while for sure. The crappie fall bite is on here in South Mississippi for sure. It's on here in Texas too. I'm extremely happy after yesterday getting out on my home lake and they were just pounding it. Like the pole as well. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've tried it on the trolling motor. Don't get me wrong. If you're chasing them, it can be a little easier because you got a free up hand. But when I'm going, if I'm scanning an area of timber or something, looking for them, I can go in a straight line, and I'm instead of moving my trolling motor like this and the boat's, doing its thing. When I'm scanning, I can keep it in a straight line up through the timber, and I can just move my arm. When I'm tournament fishing, my hand is constantly doing this until I lock onto one of the big ones. It's got advantages, and I guess it does have some disadvantages, but that's all. That's all I've ran. I've had live scope since it first came out. I built my own pole. You'll see videos of my own pole that I made back in the day, and I used to have it right by the helm. Any of you guys that watching my older videos, and it worked well. I had my graphs linked together, and I would control it back there, especially when I was guiding. I could have, clients up on the front, and I could even have them in behind me, and they could watch the screen with the console, and they could watch, fish the screen up there. And what I'd do is I'd just pull up, get on a big brush pile or something that was loaded with crappie, and I'd get off to the side of it, put the live scope right on it for them, and everybody in the boat's watching live scope fishing for them. It was a really good setup. Painting is the boring part. Yeah, but you know what I need, Chad? I need to know how you get the different colors. I mean, I've mixed some colors and whatnot, and I like that. I do like that. I've mixed some of that powder coat, and I've got some off colors that have worked really well. I mean, I did a purple with a white, and it kind of turned into like an Easter egg color, like a bluish color. I mean, it was good. They really liked that color. Slab dock. I got the 34 mounted to the trolling motor on my new boat, but kept the old 32 on the pole as a second last boat pole. As it must, especially for guiding. Exactly. And that's where I was having the problem guiding from. I didn't want it on the trolling motor for guiding. It's so much better for guiding on the pole. But man, your new boat's awesome. I don't even know how I would act if I had something like that set up the way you got it set up. These guys would be in trouble at these tournaments. I expect high things out of you, Lamar. Beast Outdoors. You have a sunscreen for your live scope. I purchased one from Ripple Lip. Just got it. And going to try it out Wednesday. See if it helps out with the sun glare. It's funny you say that, Beast, because yes, I have the same sunscreen from Ripple Lip. It does work. You put it on there just right and tighten it down, and it stays good too. I was impressed. I don't use it a whole lot. I do have it in the boat. When the sun gets really bad, I will. Depending on where the sun's at. Yes, it does. The pole Randall does help when it's windy. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. Like I said, that's what I've always been comfortable with. It's what I started out with, and I'll continue with it. And I might do the same as Lamar someday if I hit the lottery. Buy me a Ranger, put me a 34 on it, and a 32. That's awesome. No, that's a nice setup, Lamar. Bushy, not busy. Put a base coat, then take a art brush that is okay, bushy, and tap second color. Gotcha. Nice. See that? I'm learning stuff. Always learning stuff. I do like them colors. It's one thing that it's just a great color combination. You got your pink chartreuse. Nice setup. Now I typically use a little bit bigger hook. If I show you my jigs, what I normally use, and I even use some bigger. Let's see. Um, maybe they're the same size. I don't know. You see this here? This is like a 32nd ounce, and that's I had Chris Guthrie make me these ones. I just like that bigger hook. These are real similar, but a little thicker. I feel that I don't miss that many hook sets with the bigger hooks. I will say I did miss a few yesterday. I mean, I had one about ripped full out of my hand, and I actually missed them. I couldn't believe it. But that's fishing. It's a lot of fun. That thump is awesome. Guys, we have been on here about an hour. I so appreciate y'all coming in. All I can say is, like what I found yesterday, fish are in the mud. So give it a try when you're out there next time. You know, I don't know if the heat, the mud's got warmth in it. They like that or what with these temperatures dropping and whatnot. But don't be afraid to drop down on that timber or that stick up or little piece of structure that you don't see fish on. Don't be afraid to drop down on it. If you're in the right depth, they'll be laying right on the bottom and you won't even see them. So that's how I caught plenty of them yesterday. But give it a try. Let's see. John says, I like number 4 and number 6 hooks for black crappie and number 1 and 2 for whites. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm typically 4 and up, 4 and 2s. But yeah, I could see where you would like a number 6 for black crappie. They do have a smaller mouth. Doesn't in all reality, I mean, when they suck it in, if they're hungry and they suck it in, you get it up in that roof of their mouth. It don't matter what side hook. You're gonna get them. Beast Outdoors later on. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for the likes. Thanks for tuning in, and I will get a video out this week. It may only be a 10-minute video of me catching 40 crappie, but I will show you what I'm seeing. You guys should be able to see the live scope well. You'll see that the fish are down in the mud. You'll watch them come up and hit it. Maybe I'm not sure. I haven't even looked at the footage yet, but my unit does do the helm feature where I can record it on a phone or something. Maybe I'll start doing that with some of my videos when I get back full tune on this, and it'll be pretty neat to watch. But again, I want to appreciate y'all for stopping in tonight, and we will come back live next Monday. Y'all have an awesome Thanksgiving. It's coming up. Safe travels for anybody that's traveling, and enjoy your time with your families. I know I will, and I'll probably do some more hand tying and getting ready for this tournament coming up. And all of you that can and want to, come on out to Toledo Bend, uh, 2 weekends, a week from Saturday, and we'll see y'all out there. Y'all have a good night. God bless y'all.